Rome did not fear easily.
Rome crushed kings.
Rome erased cities. Rome turned nations into provinces and renamed their gods. But there was one man whose name made Roman senators pause mid-sentence. One man whose shadow haunted Roman dreams for decades. One man mothers warned their children about at night. Hannibal is at the gates. For Romans, this phrase meant terror. For history, it meant genius. For Hannibal Barca himself, it meant destiny. This is not the story of a monster. This is not the story of a villain. This is the story of the greatest enemy Rome ever faced. And the greatest general who never won the final prize.
Carthage, Rome's rival.
Hannibal Barca was born in 247 BC, in the great North African city of Carthage, modern-day Tunisia. Carthage was not like Rome. Rome was built on conquest by land. Carthage ruled the seas. Carthage was wealthy, strategic, ancient, founded centuries earlier by Phoenician traders. Its merchants reached across the Mediterranean. Its navy dominated trade routes. Its influence rivaled Rome's growing power. And Rome hated that. Before Hannibal could walk, his world was already at war. The First Punic War, 264 to 241 BC, was one of the longest and bloodiest conflicts the ancient world had ever seen. Rome and Carthage fought for 23 years, mainly over Sicily. Carthage had the stronger navy. Rome had endless manpower.
Rome adapted.
Rome learned.
Rome endure.
And finally, Rome won. Carthage was humiliated, forced to surrender Sicily, pay massive war reparations, lose naval dominance. The defeat scarred Carthage, but it burned especially deep in one man. That man was Hannibal Barca, Hannibal's father. Hamilcar was a brilliant Carthaginian general, admired by soldiers, feared by enemies. But Rome's victory shattered his ambitions. Rome didn't just defeat Carthage, it dishonored it. And Hamilcar swore Rome would pay. When Hannibal was about 9 years old, Hamilcar prepared to leave for Spain to rebuild Carthaginian power. Before leaving, he called his son to him. According to ancient historians, Hamilcar led Hannibal to an altar and made him swear an oath that would define his entire life. Swear that you will never be a friend of Rome. Hannibal placed his hand on the altar, and he swore. That moment did not create hatred. It sharpened destiny. Hannibal grew up in military camps, not palaces. In Spain, Hamilcar rebuilt Carthaginian strength. New soldiers, new wealth, new alliances, new war experience. Hannibal learned languages, tactics, geography, leadership. He rode horses before most boys could read. He slept among soldiers. He ate what they ate. He marched when they marched. And most importantly, they loved him. Hannibal wasn't physically imposing by ancient standards, but he had sharp intelligence, emotional control, ruthless focus, unbreakable endurance. He could inspire loyalty without force. He could command fear without cruelty. Roman historians, even as enemies, admitted it. Never was there a man more capable of commanding men. Hamilcar died in battle when Hannibal was young. Command passed to Hannibal's brother-in-law, Hasdrubal the Fair, who continued expanding Carthaginian influence peacefully. But fate returned violently. Hasdrubal was assassinated. The army gathered, and unanimously, they chose Hannibal Barca as their general. He was only 26 years old. The Siege of Saguntum. Rome and Carthage had an uneasy treaty. The city of Saguntum in modern Spain was allied with Rome, but sat near Carthaginian territory. Hannibal knew what attacking Saguntum meant. He did it anyway. The siege lasted 8 brutal months. Saguntum fell. Rome was outraged. Roman envoys confronted Carthage. They demanded Hannibal be surrendered. Carthage refused. Rome declared war. The Second Punic War had begun. Rome expected a familiar battlefield. Sicily, North Africa, the sea. They were wrong. Hannibal knew he could not defeat Rome by fighting Rome's way. So he chose madness. He would invade Italy by land, from Spain. That meant crossing rivers, enemy tribes, the Pyrenees, and finally, the Alps. No major army had ever done this successfully. Hannibal marched anyway. Hannibal began with 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry.
37 war Elefants. Rom looked.
Then they panicked. The Alps were hell. Snow, ice, ambushes, starvation. Men slipped to their deaths. Animals froze. Supplies vanished. Entire units disappeared into ravines. Yet Hannibal pressed on. When he descended into Italy, he had lost nearly half his army. But what remained was forged in fire. Battle of the Trebia. Rome rushed to stop him. Hannibal destroyed them. Battle of Lake Trasimene. Hannibal ambushed a Roman army beside a fog-covered lake. It was a slaughter. One of the largest ambushes in military history. Rome was stunned. In 216 BC, Rome assembled its largest army ever.
Over 80,000 menn.
They intended to crush Hannibal forever. Hannibal let them surround him. And then, he encircled them. In one day, 50,000 to 70,000 Romans died. Senators, consuls, veterans. Rome had never suffered such loss. Even centuries later, Roman writers trembled describing it. After Cannae, Rome was defenseless. But Hannibal did not attack the city. Why? No siege equipment.
No reinforcements.
No full support from Carthage.
Rome chose survival.
They refused battle. They avoided Hannibal. They attacked his allies. This became known as the Fabian strategy. Slow, exhausting, relentless. Hannibal begged for reinforcements. Carthage hesitated. Politics, jealousy, fear. They never fully supported him.
Rome adapted.
Time became Rome's ally. Rome found its answer in one man, Scipio. Young, brilliant, bold. Scipio attacked Carthage itself. Hannibal was recalled home after 15 years in Italy. 202 BC, Hannibal faced Scipio. This time, Hannibal lost. The war was over. Rome had won.
Rome demandait Hannibal s'exile.
He fled. Tyre, Antioch, Armenia, always pursued, always watched. When Roman soldiers finally surrounded him, Hannibal chose control. He drank poison. His final words, "Let us relieve the Romans from their long fear." He was about 64 years old.
Rome survivait.
But Rome never forgot. Roman generals studied Hannibal. Roman children feared his name. Roman historians wrote about him, again and again. He lost the war, but he won immortality. Hannibal Barca didn't destroy Rome, but he proved something far more terrifying, that Rome could be beaten.